Welcome back, Duelists, and I've got a couple of things to get at you before I get into today's video. First things first, Nikita, Nikita, thank you for getting back to me. Those cards are in the post as of this morning. I realize it's a day later than I emailed you. I do apologize for that, but they're coming. Jonathan Chappell, you have honestly till this Sunday to go ahead and send me a mailing address for you. Or unfortunately, I won't be able to send you anything because I do give my viewers who win 1 week to respond. It's just fair. It keeps me from having to watch the email box all the time. If in fact you have already sent that to me by the time that this has been published and uploaded to YouTube, I do apologize. In which case, give it one more day and then it'll be in the post for you. That could be second. And second off, today's deck is brought to you by a viewer request by one Charles Donahue. Thank you very much for requesting Dark World. So let me get you guys that deck profile real quick. And first things first, we're going to start with the main deck. So for today's build, I have opted to play 1, 2, 3 copies of Beige Vanguard of Dark World, followed by 1, 2, 3 copies of Brow the Huntsman of Dark World, followed by 1, 2, 3 Danger Chupacabra. That's right, guys. Dangers mix super well with this deck. The 1 Jackalope because ban list. The 1, 2, 3 copies Mothman. The 1 copy Nessie and Tsuchinoko, also ban list specials. We got 3 copies Boss Monster Grapha Dark Lord of Dark World, or Dragon Lord, sorry. If I learned how to read. 3 copies Silva the Warlord of Dark World, and I'll explain that here in a moment. 3 copies Snow Unlight of Dark World, and that's going to round out our monsters. Moving over to our spells, we've got the 1, 2 Allure of Darkness. 3 is Card Destruction, because again, for the most part, we do not want to be banishing as often as possible. We do want effects that are discard effects. So Card Destruction fits that way better. Phantom Rage gave us a brand new card in the form of Charge into a Dark World. Now, it feels like it is Dark World support. It doesn't look like it's Dark World support. It's totally got Dark World characters on it with Braun the Mad King and I believe his name was Zure the Dark Knight. Anyway, these guys are here. We're going to play this. We're also going to use 3 copies Spell Card Dark World Dealings. 1 Pot of Avarice, because again, we're going to be sending to the discard pile so often. We're going to be running 3 copies of the Gates of Dark World. And because of all the tutor abilities between Snow and everything else in this deck, we have opted not to play Terraforming this time, but really want to maximize the ability to draw into the Gates of the Dark World. And last up, I could have made this deck a little more expensive. I chose to just go with 3 copies Solemn Strike. It's been common in a structure deck. It's been this ultra rare that I keep using from Dual Devastator. It was an ultra rare in Battle of Legends, Relentless Revenge, or whatever it was. It was common, I think I just said that, in the Machina structure deck. Obviously, if you guys want to play Impermanence there and you've got the extra $120 to kick around, go for it. I prefer my options budget and a little more useful. Granted, I won't be able to stun my opponent on my turn 0, but I can stop a monster effect and or summon, or I believe it's just a special summons, but it is. And I feel like it's more useful, more utility. Now going over to the extra deck right quick, we are going to be running a 5 Xyz monsters, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Dingerusu, the Orchestra of the Evening Star, 141 Baguska, the Terribly Tired Tapir, 1 number 101 Silent Honor Arc. Let's see if that focuses proper. There we go. And of course the 1 Tornado Dragon. Didn't do a lot on 8s here, and I know that a lot of people are going to be like, well, why didn't you play Bigfoot? Why didn't you play Thunderbird? Look, guys, I don't own them. I do try not to make those types of substitutions when I'm profiling a deck, even though, let's be honest, everybody who does do that, you are amazing for doing that for your viewers, because at the same time you are saying, well, I may not have 3 of this, but here's another option, and here's an option I have personally tested, and you really go out of your way to help your viewers, and that makes you guys awesome too. So thumbs up for all of my competitors right there. Uh, going over to the links, we've got the Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess, 1 Barricade Board Blocker, 1 Borlode, 1 Boral Sword, 1 IP Masquerena, 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn, 1 Saryuja, and 1 Wee Witch. And again, no rank 8s outside of the Dingerusu, because again, I didn't want to proxy cards I don't own because of my own personal hang up on it. Otherwise, you can feel free to be playing cards like Divine Dragon Knight Felgrind, or whatever flavor that it is that floats your boat. I just personally like the Orchestra of the Evening Star. So if you guys were here literally just for this profile and you just needed the list, we are officially done with the portion of the video that is for you. And if this has helped you, if you enjoy this, please consider giving us a subscription. Better yet, though, and always more importantly, please tell your friends about the channel. That's really helped a ton, like a metric ton. And of course, you guys have a lovely morning, day, afternoon, night, whatever it is that you're having. Have a wonderful one. Everybody else, let's start talking about the deck itself. So, first up, we've got Beige. Now, there's nothing really special about this man, except that when he is discarded by a card effect and not a cost, he is special summoned to the field. Now, most Dark World cards will special summon to the field if discarded as an effect, and will gain an additional effect based on whether or not it was your opponent's card effect, because obviously we want to punish the opponent. Beige has no actual effect like that. He is what you guys see. Now remember, these guys showed up back in Elemental Energy. It's a huge GX deck from back in the day. Got some support with the structure deck. It's been cool ever since. Brow, when discarded by our card effect, is a draw 1. And if discarded by an opponent's card effect, we get the draw 1 plus another draw 1. So draw 1/2. Danger Chupacabra, and this is amazing because in this deck, the danger cards really help you control the fact that you're allowed to get discards on your own turn. So let's really read these guys. Now, Chupacabra says, reveal this in the hand, then your opponent randomly chooses 1 card from your entire hand, and then you discard that chosen card. That is an effect. So first off, if they hit a Dark World card, you're getting a Dark World effect. That's pretty snazzy. Secondly, if the discarded card was not Danger Chupacabra, special summon a Danger Chupacabra from your hand, and if you do, draw 1 card. So if in fact it was not Chupacabra, he will summon himself, summon the target that did get discarded by the card effect, and then allow us to draw a card. And oh my goodness, if it was Brow, this is actually a draw 2, fully replenishing the cards back from your hand, because it'd be the draw 1 from the Brow, and of course it'll be a draw 1 off the Chupacabra. And if this card is discarded, you can target 1 danger monster in the graveyard with a different name and special summon it back. You may only use this effect once per turn. So again, a lot of the dangers are going to play this little hide and go seek effect, and that's fantastic. And one way we're going to, recur a different danger, or because this is Dark World, we're going to summon this Chupacabra, build our Link and Xyz plays, and get the Dark World effects. So I wanted to maximize at 3. Please take one more note real quick. He is a fiend, and take one more note. Every monster in this deck, especially every danger, was actually dark. So that is useful when we talk about the Allure of Darkness here in a bit. Jackalope has a bit of an off level. Between him, Nessie being, I believe, a 7. Let's see, 4, 3, 7. Tsuchinoko being a 3. They're sort of off level for the plays that you could do, so they're more or less link fodder. This one, when he plays Hide and Go Seek, the opponent randomly chooses 1. Discard the chosen. If it was not Jackalope, special summon Jackalope from hand, and if you do, draw 1 card. If this card is discarded, special summon 1 danger from the deck in defense, and not Jackalope. Okay, so he's going to replenish the hand as well. Mothman. Reveal. Opponent chooses. If not this card, Then if it wasn't that, then summon the Mothman, and if you do, draw a card. And if it was in fact discarded, both players draw one, then both players discard one. He is literally Dark World Dealings as an effect. Either way, Mothman is a great play. Thumbs up all the way. So definitely play my boy. Yeah. So Nessie, reveal, play hide and go seek. They discard, they choose, you discard. Then if it was not Nessie, special summon Nessie from the hand. And if you do, draw one card. If this is discarded, you may add one danger from deck to hand except Nessie, which will allow you to pick whichever one you wanted. So if you want to pick the Mothman this time, go ahead, pick Mothman. And it's just brilliant. You just get away with some great plays. Tsuchinoko, again, reveal, play hide and seek. Whatever card selected, discard as effect. Then if it was not this card, special and draw. And then if it was, special summon it back anyway. So Tsuchinoko, kind of the broken-ish one. Grapha, great card here. You may special summon it back from the discard pile, recurring him once per turn, by returning a face-up Dark World monster you control from the field to the hand, except another card of the same name. Now, if it was discarded by a card effect, target a card on the opponent's that they control, destroy it. And if it was discarded by the opponent's card effect, you can also look at a random card in their hand, and if it's a monster, you can special summon that to your side of the field. So on the one hand, you get to bring over one of their cards, and all the time you're going to be destroying something. So that's amazing. And the fact that he boards himself back is really going to synergize with a lot of other cards. The fact that we're going to be able to play cards like Beige real quick just to get Grapha to the field from the discard pile. And you're going to see this even with the new spell card. It's just good plays. Silva, again, he's just a special summon when discarded by effect. However, if it is an opponent's card effect, this probably won't come up a whole heck of a lot. But if it is, then he's the better choice between him and Gold, because Gold will let you destroy 2 cards that they control. And this guy actually lets your opponent select 2 cards in their hand and return them to the bottom of their deck. So he's going to take care of your opponent's options. The problem is they do need exactly 2 cards in their hand. So if they only have 1 card, Silva won't get it. But again, Silva's mostly like a what-if card anyway. We got Snow the Unlight. This is an amazing card if it's discarded by the card effect. And the wording on this one, it's supposed to be the reminder text. This was right when that started. This is one of those crazy ones I have to reread like twice. So if this card is discarded to the graveyard by card effect, if it was discarded by opponent's card effect, target a monster in your opponent's graveyard. And then, normally, either way, add a Dark World card from your deck to your hand. And then if it was the opponent's card, special summon that monster from their discard pile back in face-up defense. So it's partially a monster reborn / tutor. And it's just the way that it was worded, even with the reminder text supposedly updated for easier understanding. Snow was one of the harder cards for me to comprehend when it was released. Now over to the spells, the Allure of Darkness. Everything, like I said, was dark. Most of the time I'm going to be looking to banish a secondary of like Chupacabra or Mothman. Because, again, the Dark World cards, I want to keep like rotating them in and out. And I don't really want to lose them. There will be a time every now and again you might have double, triple Grapha. That's still fine to lose a Grapha to the banishment. It's not a big deal. But I liked 2. Card Destruction was an effect. So this makes both players discard their entire hands. And then after that, both players draw cards equal to the number of cards that they did discard. And you will notice this is from the original starter deck Yugi. This one is not first edition, and it's seen a little bit of wear. Part of that is the sleeve, part of that is the card. It's just really cool. Sometimes I still have cards that are like 18 years old circulating in my deck, and this is one of those effects that's worth it. Charge into a Dark World. Target a level 4 or lower Fiend monster into my graveyard. Now again, this is why we have Brow, 3-star. This is why we have Beige, 4-star. And if you're real particular, Chupacabra is actually a Fiend, which is why I asked you guys to note that earlier. So we get to special summon that level 4 lower fiend. And again, remember, it doesn't have to be a Dark World card. And then discard a fiend monster. So we get to reborn one while discarding one. And this is a perfect way to bring back somebody like the Brow that you needed for the draw cards while discarding Grapha. To essentially bounce the Brow back into your hand and summon the Grapha. So you're going to blow up a card, resurrect a card, bounce the draw card to get more draws while boarding your boss monster. Yes, please. And again, 3. I mean, this is a common out of the Phantom Rage set. I don't know why everybody isn't playing this. Everybody's probably playing this, let me be honest. Dark World Dealings. This is one of the older cards from Elemental Energy. No, actually. No, STON. Storm of Neos. Strike of Neos. Something like that. But all players draw a card, then drop a card. This can help. Because obviously, if your opponent's only got like 0 cards in their hand, they're not going to get anything from it. But you could end up letting your opponent get into hand traps. That's a big deal with this. So it's a thing, you might side them out, whatever. I don't know. Pot of Avarice, I like to recycle my cards, especially the Brows, get more draws. And, if you need to put Grapha back or whatever, do that. Gates of the Dark World, all Fiend monsters actually gain a 300 attack defense bonus on this. And once per turn, you can banish a Fiend type in the graveyard to discard a Fiend type monster and draw a card. It's an extra draw every turn. Unfortunately, again, it does require banishments. And if I would have had maybe like another level 3 character in here, and maybe we could find a way next time to work Tour Guide of the Underworld in here. Maybe we could end up playing like a Brow Tour Guide, or end up with Jackalope on the field, or Tsuchinoko on the field with Brow. And maybe we could work Levier the Sky Dragon into this so that these banishments aren't as painful to us, or if they just let us have return from the different dimension back. Either way, I'd be okay with it. But I've been running 3 copies of the field spell for now. And again, 3 copies of Solemn Strike. Go ahead, negate the special summoner summons or a monster effect activation for 1,500 life points. There are some other tech cards that you could choose to place into either your side or your main, depending on how your budget fell. Maybe you had the budget for a lot of these cards, maybe you didn't. If you had less of the danger characters, a very likely substitution for you would actually be to place Deck Devastation Virus into your deck. Because again, Deck Devastation Virus would allow us to rip all hand traps from our opponent's hand for literally 3 turns. And again, there's very few Fiends in your deck that won't be 2k or higher at the end of that. Obviously, Beige and Brow are going to miss the mark a little bit. Chupacabra will miss it. Jack, Moth, Nessie, and Suchi are all non-Fiends. However, Grapha would be at 3k, Silva's already at 23, and Snow would go up to the obligatory 2k. And this would allow you to go ahead and play these cards. So, and use them for that Deck Devastation Virus. And then you could either use the charge into a Dark World to sort of recur them, or you could use, I don't know, Pot of Avarice, put them back in your deck altogether. So let's breeze over the extra deck real quick, and then we'll let you guys have a great night, have a great day, whichever it is. First off is Abyss Dweller. I think that's fairly self-explanatory by this point. We want to stop graveyard effects. Then Jurisu is going to have some good effects, obviously on summon. We can send a card our opponent controls to the graveyard or attach one of our banished machines, which isn't a thing. So we're going to send an opponent's card for one of the materials. And again, if that's going to be Grapha, which is going to be Grapha in the way that I built this, we're going to be able to even recur that Grapha once in this turn, unless we already used a Grapha effect like that this turn, at which point we can actually try to build a board and build a field. We got Baguska for when we need to go for that defense. We got the Silent Honor Arc because I really didn't want to put Exciton Knight in here. I thought about it, and I kind of want to keep my board whenever I have it. Silent Honor Arc is going to allow me to ditch both of its materials to grab a special summon monster on my opponent's side of the field and use it as an overlay material, essentially being like a special summon relinquished. And then, of course, if it would be destroyed once per turn, I can also take that material back off of it. Tornado Dragon is here to level out the back row. It's a quick effect. It's double MST. Play it. Apollosa here to block those effects. Again, we're going to be able to summon a lot of cards. I think Link 4 is going to be very easy to build in this deck. And so far, I've been able to play Link 4s, no problem. Barricade Board Blocker, Continuous, and Field Spell Protection. Let's keep those Gates of Dark World as long as possible. Borreload and Boral Sword. Pretty self-explanatory at this point. They just help you go for game and do crazy things. IP Masquerena, let's play on our opponent's turn. Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn, the Nightmare Trio. Pretty much synonymous with the extra deck at this point. Saryuja. This one might require a little bit of talk. So 2+ monsters with different names with different effects that do stack based on the amount of monsters that you use. So if you use the base 2, any monster, normal or special summon to a zone this card points to gains 300 attack and defense. This could actually allow more plays for the deck devastation virus on the characters that needed the extra 3 while having the field spell. So again, if we go back in here, this guy missed it by 100 earlier. Now he's live for it. Brow's now live for it because it brings him up to 2k exact. Chupacabra's live, and that makes every fiend in your deck devastation material. So Saryuja's not bad there. Second effect, if you use 3 or more names, you also get to special summon a card from your hand once per turn. Brilliant. And if you do all 4, also when this is link summoned, you may draw 4, place 3 cards from your hand back at the bottom. So if you just drew a blind 4 because you didn't have a hand, you're picking 1. If you already had a couple cards in your hand, it doesn't say that it has to be from the ones that you drew. It just has to be from your hand at the time when you've already got those additional 4 cards in it. So Saryuja, pretty amazing. Let's play it. And last up, Wee Witch. Just sort of like I ran out of things to put in here. And I was like, it's a generic double dark. If it does get destroyed, I can get a dark back to my hand. This could be useful. And again, it's another generic power bonus. This time it's 500 for the attack and defense. And we can actually lower light. Now, I'm not sure that light attribute is doing too much at the moment. But if Light Sworn was around and any real volume or whatever, then we would be able to take the fight to them. I'm sure Blue Eyes is amping up. I did notice that that's back in stores, the Saga of Blue Eyes structure deck. So we're going to see something with that. But that is the deck. That is the side deck, or sorry, the extra deck. And again, Mr. Donahue, thank you for suggesting that I go over Dark World again. It's brilliant. I didn't have to build it once and then do an update for the spell from Phantom Rage. I was happy to do this. And I'm going to be making another Speed Duel deck before the end of the week. I'll probably have that up Friday, Saturday time period. So I'm going to get back to work, and I'll see you guys later.